Imagine for a moment that you could peer beneath the surface of the world you know, a world of solid objects, predictable patterns, and familiar truths. What if, just beyond the reach of your senses, there lay a realm so strange, so elusive, that it defies the very idea of reality itself? Welcome to the whisper of the quantum realm, a hidden landscape where the rules of existence as we understand them seem to dissolve into a shimmering haze of mystery. Here, in this unseen domain, particles flicker in and out of being, as if playing a cosmic game of hide and seek with the universe. They are not bound by the certainties of our everyday experience. They do not sit still, waiting to be known. Instead, they dance in a state of endless possibility, their essence a riddle written in the language of chance. Picture this subatomic world as a vast, silent ocean, its depths untouched by the light of human perception. Beneath its surface, waves of probability ripple and collide, shaping the very fabric of what we call real. A single particle might exist here and there at once, or nowhere at all, until the moment it is sought. It is as though reality itself is not a fixed foundation, a bedrock we can stand upon, but rather a fleeting dream, woven from threads of uncertainty. What does it mean to be in such a place? Is existence at its core nothing more than a suggestion, a whisper of what might be, waiting for the right question to give it form? Consider the weight of this idea. If the building blocks of everything, every star, every breath, every thought, are not solid truths but mere probabilities, what does that say about the world we inhabit? Are we, too, a collection of possibilities, balanced on the edge of becoming? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind wander to the edge of this unseen ocean, where the boundaries of what is and what could be blur into one. What if the very act of wondering, of reaching for understanding, is itself a part of this mysterious dance? As we linger in this thought, let us trace the paradox deeper. In the quantum realm, nothing is as it seems. A particle can be a speck of matter one moment and a wave of energy the next, slipping between forms as if identity itself were a choice. It is a place of contradictions, where the impossible is routine and the familiar becomes strange. Imagine standing at the threshold of this world, gazing into a mirror that reflects not your face, but 1,000 fractured versions of it, each one true, yet none complete. What would it mean to live in such a reality, where certainty is a myth, and all we have are questions? This is not merely a scientific curiosity, though the minds that first uncovered these truths, brilliant pioneers like Bohr, Heisenberg, and Schrödinger, wrestled with equations and experiments to map this hidden terrain. No, this is a philosophical abyss, a challenge to the very way we see ourselves and our place in the cosmos. If reality at its smallest scale is so fluid, so unknowable, then what anchors us? Are we adrift in a sea of probabilities, or are we, in some unspoken way, the ones who shape the currents? Let that thought settle over you like a quiet fog, obscuring the horizon, but inviting you to feel your way through the mystery. In the early 20th century, when these ideas first emerged, they shook the foundations of human thought. Scientists and thinkers alike were forced to confront a universe that did not conform to the clockwork precision of Newton's laws. Instead, they found a reality that seemed almost alive with uncertainty, as if it were teasing us with its secrets. Einstein himself, one of the greatest minds of the age, recoiled at the notion, famously declaring that God does not play dice. Yet the evidence persisted, whispering of a world where chance and mystery reign supreme. Could it be that the universe delights in its own enigma, hiding its true nature just beyond our grasp? And so, we stand here, at the very edge of understanding, peering into a realm that feels both alien and intimate. For if everything begins in this quantum whisper, then so do we. Every atom in your body, every spark of thought in your mind, carries the echo of this strange and beautiful paradox. What if the mystery of the quantum realm is not a barrier, but a mirror, a reflection of the uncertainties we carry within? Take a moment to reflect on this. Feel the weight of the unknown, not as a burden, but as a quiet invitation to wonder. In this hidden world, where reality shimmers and fades, perhaps we find not answers, but the courage to ask the questions that define us. Imagine for a moment that the very act of looking at something could change its nature, could shift the fabric of existence itself. Picture a world so delicate, so elusive, that the mere touch of your gaze weaves a new thread into its tapestry. This is not the realm of fantasy, but a hidden truth nestled at the heart of reality, a phenomenon so strange, so profound, that it challenges everything we think we know about the universe and our place within it. Welcome to the enigma of the observer's paradox, a mystery that whispers of a deep, unspoken connection between us and the cosmos. Let us step into this unseen landscape together, where the rules of the familiar crumble into whispers of possibility. Consider a single particle, a fleeting speck of existence, hovering in a state of pure potential. It is not one thing or another, not here or there, but a ghostly blend of all possibilities at once, a superposition of states, as if it exists, in multiple realities simultaneously. Yet, the moment we seek to know it, to measure its position or its path, something extraordinary happens. The particle seems to make a choice, collapsing into a single state, as though it has been caught in the act of being. It is no longer a cloud of maybes, but a defined, singular reality. The act of observation, the simple decision to look, has altered its very essence. What strange power lies in our gaze that it can shape the unseen? Now let this thought linger in the quiet of your mind. What if reality is not a fixed stage upon which we merely play our parts, but a fluid, ever-shifting dream that responds to our presence? Could it be that our awareness, our consciousness, is not just a passive witness, but an active force, a brushstroke on the canvas of existence? In the laboratories of quantum mechanics, this is no mere poetic musing, but a tangible phenomenon, known as the observer effect. Scientists have watched time and again as the behavior of particles changes under scrutiny, as if the universe itself is shy, revealing only what it must when it knows it is being seen. Take a moment to reflect on this. How does it feel to consider that your very attention might be a creative act, a silent partnership with the cosmos? Let us delve deeper into this unsettling beauty. Imagine you are standing in a vast, dimly lit hall, an endless corridor of mirrors. In each mirror, you see a different version of the same particle, a different path it might take, a different story it might tell. But the moment you turn to focus on one reflection, the others vanish, as if they were never there. This is the heart of the paradox. Until we look, the particle dances in a realm of infinite potential, a symphony of what could be. Yet our decision to observe forces a single note to play, a single reality to emerge. Does this mean the other possibilities are lost forever? Or do they linger somewhere, in a place beyond our reach, echoing in the shadows of what might have been? And so, we must ask ourselves a question that has haunted philosophers and scientists alike for decades. What is the role of consciousness in this mysterious dance? Is the universe a passive machine, grinding through its motions whether we watch or not? Or is there something more intimate at play? Could it be that our minds, our very act of wondering, are entangled with the fabric of reality, pulling at its threads, shaping its form? There are no easy answers here, only a quiet invitation to marvel at the possibility. Perhaps we are not mere spectators in this grand theatre of existence, but co-creators, our thoughts and intentions rippling outward, touching the unseen in ways we cannot yet fathom. As you let this idea settle, imagine yourself gazing out at a starlit sky, each twinkling light a reminder of how little we truly know. What if every observation you make, every moment of awareness, is a quiet act of creation, a subtle nudge to the universe's endless unfolding? The observer's paradox does not offer conclusions, but rather a doorway into awe, a reminder that we are woven into the mystery, our presence a whisper that echoes through the quantum void. Take a moment to reflect on this. Feel the weight of your own gaze, the silent power of simply being here, watching, wondering. And so, we stand at the edge of this enigma, peering into a reality that seems to look back at us, as if it knows we are here. The particle, once a blur of possibilities, now rests in the clarity of our observation, but the questions remain. Are we shaping the world with every glance, or are we merely glimpsing a truth that was always meant to be? Let this mystery wrap around you like a soft, shadowed cloak, a gentle reminder that in the heart of the universe, there are forces at play we may never fully grasp. But in the act of seeking, in the act of looking, we become part of the endless, beautiful unknown. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a vast, shimmering river. From one angle, it flows with a ceaseless, liquid grace, rippling and bending under the light of a distant sun. Yet, as you shift your gaze, the water seems to harden, transforming into an unyielding slab of stone, ancient and immovable. Which is the true nature of the river? Or could it be that both are real, shaped not by the river itself, but by the way you choose to see it? This is the enigma we step into now. A realm where reality refuses to be pinned down, where light and matter dance between forms, elusive and paradoxical, as if daring us to redefine what we believe to be true. This strange duality lies at the heart of our understanding of the universe. Light, that most familiar of companions, can manifest as a stream of particles, tiny packets of energy darting through space like fireflies in the night. Yet, in the same breath, it can stretch and undulate as a wave, rippling across the cosmos, with a rhythm that seems almost alive. Matter, too, shares this twofold nature. Electrons, the building blocks of everything we touch, flicker between being points of substance and waves of possibility, their essence shifting with the questions we ask. It is as though the universe itself is a canvas, painted in strokes of both precision and ambiguity, waiting for us to decide which brush to see. But what does this mean for the nature of reality? Is there a fixed truth beneath this duality? A singular essence we have yet to uncover? Or does the universe adapt to our curiosity, molding itself to the shape of our inquiry? Consider the river once more. When you see it as water, it invites you to wade in, to feel its current against your skin. When it appears as stone, it stands as a barrier, a challenge to overcome. Could reality be just as pliant, revealing itself not as it is, but as we seek to know it? The thought lingers like a quiet fog, settling over the mind, obscuring the boundaries between what is and what might be. Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your thoughts drift to a time when the world seemed one way, only to shift under the weight of a new perspective. How often do we assume we know the shape of things, only to find they transform when we look closer or look differently? This duality, this wave-particle dance, whispers of a deeper mystery. It suggests that the act of seeking, of questioning, is not merely a path to answers, but a force that shapes the very fabric of what we encounter. If light can be both particle and wave, if matter can straddle the line between the tangible and the ephemeral, then perhaps truth itself is not a destination, but a spectrum, a continuum of possibilities that unfolds with every glance. What if the universe is not a puzzle to be solved, but a conversation, one where our words, our thoughts, our very presence alter the story being told? As we linger in this thought, the mystery deepens. Are we merely observers of this dual nature, or are we complicit in its creation? Does reality bend to our perception, or do we bend to its elusive rules? The river flows and stands still, water and stone, waiting for us to choose, or perhaps to realize that choosing is itself an illusion. Let this uncertainty wrap around you like a soft twilight mist, not as a burden, but as an invitation to wonder. For in this dance of wave and particle, we glimpse a truth as fleeting as it is profound, that reality, like the river, may never be fully grasped, but in its shifting forms, it reveals the boundless depth of the unknown. Imagine, for a moment, A key unlike any other. A ghostly key, forged not of metal but of possibility. It hovers before an endless array of doors, each leading to a different destiny, a different truth. This key does not choose a single lock to fit. Instead, it trembles with the power to unlock every door at once, existing in a state of pure potential, a whisper of what could be. Yet, the moment you reach out to grasp it, to claim its purpose, it slips into a single form, opening just one path while the others fade into shadow. What is this strange, ethereal key? It is the heart of a mystery that dwells in the unseen depths of reality, a phenomenon known as superposition, where the fabric of the universe seems to hold all possibilities in a delicate, ghostly overlap. In the subatomic realm, far beneath the surface of what we can touch or see, particles dance in this state of multiplicity. An electron, for instance, does not commit to a single position or path as it orbits an atom. It exists as a cloud of likelihoods, a spectrum of maybes spread across every possible state at once. It is here and there, spinning this way and that, all at the same time, until something or someone seeks to know its truth. Only then does it collapse into a single reality, as if the act of inquiry forces the universe to make a choice. But what does this mean for the nature of existence itself? Is reality a fixed landscape, carved in stone? Or is it a fluid dream, waiting for our gaze to shape its form? Consider the ghostly key once more. As it hovers before those countless doors, does it truly hold every possibility within itself? Or are we merely blind to the infinite worlds it touches? Could it be that, in some unseen dimension, each door does open, leading to a separate reality where every version of the story unfolds? The idea of superposition whispers of such a multiplicity, hinting at a universe far stranger than we can imagine. A place where all outcomes coexist, layered atop one another like translucent veils, invisible yet ever present. And if this is so, what does it say about our own lives? Are there echoes of ourselves, living every choice we did not make, every path we turned away from, thriving in a reality just beyond our reach? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind wander to the notion of infinite possibilities, not as a burden, but as a quiet wonder. What if, at this very moment, there are versions of you stretching across unseen horizons, each one a fleeting shadow of what could have been? Does this thought unsettle you, or does it bring a strange kind of peace, knowing that somewhere in the vast tapestry of the cosmos, every dream you've ever held might already be real? This mystery of superposition does not merely challenge our understanding of particles or physics. It reaches deeper, brushing against the very essence of what it means to exist. If a single electron can hold within itself a chorus of possibilities, then what of the universe as a whole? Is it too a grand superposition, a boundless overlap of every story that could ever be told? And if so, are we merely travelers along one thread of that infinite weave, unaware of the countless others shimmering just out of sight? The ghostly key remains before us, trembling with potential, inviting us to ponder whether reality itself is but a fleeting choice made from an ocean of what might have been. Let this thought linger as a soft echo in your mind. There is no need to grasp for answers, no urgency to unlock every door. For now, simply rest in the mystery, in the quiet beauty of a universe that holds all things at once, waiting patiently for the moment we dare to reach out and see which path it will reveal. Imagine for a moment a bond so profound that it transcends the very notions of distance and separation, a connection that weaves through the fabric of the universe itself, invisible yet unbreakable. What if two entities, separated by vast oceans of space, could mirror each other's every move, as if guided by a silent cosmic choreography? This is not the stuff of dreams or ancient myths, but a glimpse into the enigmatic heart of quantum entanglement, a phenomenon that whispers of a reality far stranger and far more interconnected than we could ever have imagined. Let us step into this mystery with a quiet story. Picture two dancers, each standing on opposite shores of a boundless sea. One raises a hand, and the other, without seeing or hearing, mirrors the gesture in perfect harmony. They have never met, never touched, yet their movements are bound as if by an unseen thread, a force that defies the miles between them. In the realm of quantum mechanics, this is no mere fantasy. When two particles become entangled, their fates are intertwined in a way that shatters our understanding of independence. If one particle spins upward, the other, no matter how far apart, will spin downward, as if they are two halves of a single soul, forever linked in an eternal dance. But what does this mean for the nature of the universe we inhabit? How can such a connection exist, seemingly untouched by the barriers of space and time? Scientists have observed this phenomenon across distances that stretch beyond our comprehension. Particles communicating, or perhaps resonating, instantaneously, as if the vast expanse between them were nothing more than a fleeting illusion. It is as though the universe itself is whispering a secret we are only beginning to hear. That separation, the very foundation of how we perceive our world, might be a mirage. Could it be that beneath the surface of reality, everything is connected, in a web so intricate, so fundamental, that to pull one thread is to feel the tremble of the whole? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine yourself as part of this unseen tapestry, your every thought, every breath, subtly tied to the furthest star, to the smallest grain of dust. What does it mean to be individual if, at the deepest level, we are all echoes of the same cosmic harmony? Let us linger on the unsettling beauty of this idea. Entanglement challenges not just our science, but our philosophy, our sense of self. If two particles can share a bond that defies the rules of distance, might there be connections in our own lives, between hearts, between minds, that operate on a level we cannot yet fathom? Is there a hidden unity beneath the chaos of existence, a silent agreement that binds us to each other, to the earth, to the void beyond? The ancient mystics spoke of oneness, of a world where all is one and one is all. Were they, in their poetic visions, glimpsing a truth that science is only now beginning to touch, and yet the mystery deepens? For entanglement does not merely suggest connection, it hints at a universe that might be timeless in its essence. If particles can influence one another without regard for the ticking of the clock, does this mean that time itself is not the rigid march we believe it to be? Could the past, present, and future be folded into a single eternal moment where every event, every choice, reverberates across the whole of creation? The thought is both comforting and disquieting, like standing at the edge of a great abyss, unsure whether to step back or leap forward into the unknown. As we sit with this idea, let the weight of it settle gently over you. There is no need to grasp for answers, no urgency to define what cannot yet be defined. Entanglement invites us to wonder, to feel the shiver of a universe that is far vaster, far more intimate than we dared to dream. Picture again those two dancers, swaying in unison across the endless sea. They do not question their bond, they simply move, as if guided by a rhythm older than time. Perhaps we too are part of such a dance, our steps unseen but felt, our connections woven into the very heart of what is. Take a moment to reflect on this. Close your eyes if you wish, and imagine yourself as one of those dancers, reaching out across the void, feeling the echo of another's motion in your own. What does it mean to be bound, not by chains, but by the quiet magic of the cosmos? Let the question linger, like a melody that plays softly in the background of your thoughts, as we rest in the mystery of a universe that, perhaps, has always known how to hold us together. Imagine for a moment that you are trying to hold the essence of a fleeting dream in the palm of your hand. You can feel its delicate warmth, sense its shape. Yet the harder you grasp, the more it slips through your fingers, dissolving into the morning mist. This is not just the nature of dreams, but a profound truth woven into the very fabric of the universe, a truth encapsulated in what we call Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It whispers to us that there are limits to what we can know, that the act of seeking precision in one aspect of reality inevitably obscures another. What does it mean then to live in a world where certainty is not a destination, but a mirage? Let us wander deeper into this enigma. In the subatomic realm, where particles dance in ways that defy our intuition, we find that we cannot simultaneously know both the position and the momentum of a single particle with absolute clarity. If we pin down where it is, its speed eludes us. If we measure its motion, its location blurs into a haze of possibility. It is as if the universe itself is a shy creature, revealing only half of its face at any given time, forever keeping the other hidden in shadow. This is not a flaw in our tools or our understanding, but a fundamental boundary, a wall built into the architecture of existence. Consider the metaphor of a bird in flight. If you focus on capturing the exact spot where its wings beat against the sky, you lose the sense of its trajectory, the graceful arc of its journey. But if you follow its path, tracing the rhythm of its motion, the precise point where it hovers escapes you. The bird exists fully, yet we can only perceive it in fragments, never grasping the whole. Is this not a mirror to our own lives? How often do we seek to know everything, where we are going, only to find that the more we fixate on one, the more the other slips away? This principle, born from the mind of Werner Heisenberg in the early 20th century, emerged as a cornerstone of quantum mechanics, a field that was already turning our understanding of reality upside down. It was a time of intellectual upheaval, when scientists peered into the smallest corners of the cosmos and found not order, but paradox. Heisenberg's insight was not just a mathematical equation, it was a philosophical earthquake. It challenged the very notion that the universe could be fully known, fully mapped, as if it were a machine whose every gear and lever could be catalogued. Instead, it suggested that at its heart, reality is elusive, a puzzle that refuses to be solved. What does this mean for us as beings who crave understanding, who build our lives on the pursuit of answers? Are we destined to wander in a fog of partial truths, forever reaching for a clarity that recedes with every step? Or is there a strange beauty in this limitation? A reminder that to know is not always to possess, that some mysteries are meant to be felt rather than grasped. Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine a piece of your own life, a question you've chased, a truth you've sought. What if the act of seeking itself is the point, even if the answer remains just out of reach? Perhaps the uncertainty principle is not a barrier, but an invitation. It asks us to embrace the unknown, to find comfort in the idea that the universe does not owe us its secrets. It humbles us, reminding us that we are not masters of reality, but participants in its unfolding. Think of a child gazing at the stars, not needing to know their composition or distance, yet feeling a profound connection to their light. Maybe there are truths in the universe we are destined never to fully hold, not because we are unworthy, but because they are too vast, too delicate to be contained. And so, we stand at this edge of knowing, peering into a realm where precision and mystery intertwine like lovers who can never fully merge. We feel the weight of what we cannot grasp, yet there is a quiet peace in this. The universe, in its reticence, teaches us patience. It whispers that to live is to question, to reach, to wonder, and that perhaps the beauty of a dream lies not in holding it, but in the fleeting touch of its presence before it fades. Imagine for a moment a wall so thick, so unyielding, that it seems to stand as an eternal barrier between you and what lies beyond. Its surface is cold, impenetrable, a silent sentinel of impossibility. And yet, what if I told you that in the strange and hidden world beneath our everyday reality, there are travelers, tiny, unseen voyagers, who pass through such walls as if they were nothing more than a whisper of fog? Welcome to the enigma of quantum tunneling, a phenomenon so surreal that it challenges the very notion of what we believe to be possible. Let us wander into this mysterious realm together, where the boundaries we take for granted dissolve into something far stranger, and perhaps far more profound. In the subatomic landscape, where the rules of our familiar world no longer hold sway, particles like electrons and photons exhibit behaviors that defy logic. Quantum tunneling is one such marvel. Picture a lone traveler approaching a towering wall, a barrier that by all rights should stop them in their tracks. There is no door, no crack, no way through. And yet, this traveler does not falter. Instead, they glide forward as if the wall were merely an illusion, a shadow cast by a trick of light. On the other side, they emerge untouched, as though the obstacle never existed. This is not a feat of strength or magic, but a fundamental quirk of the quantum world, where the impossible becomes inexplicably possible. How can this be? In the realm of quantum mechanics, particles do not behave as solid objects, but as waves of probability. They are not confined to a single path or place. Rather, their existence is smeared across a spectrum of possibilities. When faced with a barrier, a particle does not crash against it or turn back. Instead, a faint echo of its wave-like nature seeps through, as if testing the boundary, probing its edges. And sometimes, against all odds, that echo becomes the particle itself, reappearing on the other side. It is as though the wall, for just a fleeting moment, forgets to be solid, allowing passage where none should be. Consider the implications of this for a moment. In our daily lives, we are surrounded by walls, physical, emotional, conceptual. We see them as immovable, as definitions of our limits. A mountain stands in our way, and we believe we must climb it or turn back. A fear grips us, and we assume it is a barrier we cannot cross. But what if these walls are not as solid as they seem? What if, like the quantum particle, there is a part of us, a whisper of potential that can pass through, not by force, but by the sheer strangeness of possibility? Take a moment to reflect on this. What barriers in your own life might be more illusion than reality, waiting for you to slip through their edges? This phenomenon of quantum tunneling is not mere theory. It underpins the very fabric of our existence. In the heart of the sun, where temperatures and pressures forge the light that sustains life on Earth, tunneling allows particles to overcome the repulsive forces that should keep them apart, enabling nuclear fusion to ignite. Without this quiet, impossible act, the stars would not burn, and the universe as we know it would be a cold, dark void. Even in the delicate machinery of life, within the enzymes that drive the chemistry of our cells, tunneling plays a subtle role, speeding reactions that would otherwise take millennia. It is as if the universe itself relies on breaking the rules, on finding paths where none should exist. And so we must ask ourselves, what does this mean for the nature of obstacles, for the boundaries we perceive in our own reality? If a particle can traverse the impassable, could there be ways in which we too transcend the walls that confine us, not through brute strength, but through a shift in perspective, a willingness to embrace the improbable? Perhaps the universe is whispering to us through these quantum oddities, suggesting that what we call impossible is merely a challenge to rethink, to reimagine. Is it possible that the barriers we face are not endpoints, but invitations to explore a deeper truth, one that lies just on the other side of what we believe we cannot do? Let this thought linger in the quiet of your mind. Picture yourself standing before a wall, any wall, feeling its weight, its certainty. Now imagine a part of you, a quiet, unseen wave of potential, slipping through, not with effort, but with the effortless grace of something that knows no bounds. What might you find on the other side? What impossible thing might become possible if you allowed yourself to believe that boundaries are not always what they seem? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let the mystery of quantum tunneling weave itself into your thoughts, a reminder that even in a world of solid things, there are pathways unseen, waiting for those who dare to pass through. Imagine for a moment that every decision you've ever made, every fleeting thought or fleeting chance, didn't just fade into the past, but birthed an entirely new reality. A world where the path you didn't take became just as real as the one you're walking now. What if, at this very instant, countless versions of you are living out every possibility you've ever pondered, every dream you've ever abandoned? Let this thought settle over you like a quiet mist as we step into one of the most bewildering ideas in the realm of quantum mechanics, the many worlds interpretation. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads, not of dirt or stone, but of pure potential. Before you stretch infinite paths, each one shimmering with the weight of what could be. You hesitate, feeling the gravity of choice, and as your foot falls toward one direction, something extraordinary happens. Reality itself splits, like a mirror fracturing into countless shards, each reflecting a different story. In one, you turn left, embarking on a life of quiet contemplation. In another, you turn right, chasing a destiny of bold adventure. And, in yet another, you stand frozen, unable to choose at all. According to the many worlds interpretation, proposed by physicist Hugh Everett in the 1950s, every quantum event, every tiniest flicker of possibility at the subatomic level, creates a branching universe, a new world for every outcome, an infinite tapestry of realities woven from the threads of chance. Let's linger on this for a moment. At the heart of quantum mechanics lies a strange truth. Particles, the building blocks of everything we know, often exist in a state of superposition, holding all possible states at once until they are observed or measured. When that moment of decision comes, the many worlds view suggests that the universe doesn't collapse into a single outcome. Instead, it diverges, splitting into separate, inaccessible realities where each possibility plays out. It's as if the cosmos refuses to let any potential go to waste, preserving every what-if in its own distinct existence. Could this mean that somewhere, in a parallel realm, a version of you is listening to these very words under entirely different stars, feeling emotions you've never known, living a life you can't imagine? Take a moment to reflect on this. What does it mean to carry the weight of choice when every unchosen path might still come to life in another world? Does it lighten the burden of regret, knowing that somewhere you made the right decision? Or does it deepen the mystery of who you are, scattering your essence across an infinity of selves? Let's wander deeper into this thought. Imagine a single moment from your past, a conversation that could have gone two ways, a risk you could have taken or avoided. In this interpretation, both outcomes happened. There's a you who spoke the words you held back, who leapt into the unknown and soared. And there's a you who stayed silent, who played it safe and found a different kind of peace. These worlds, though born from the same root, drift apart instantly, sealed off from one another by the impenetrable walls of quantum separation. You can't reach them, can't glimpse them, yet their existence hums in the background of this strange theory, a quiet chorus of lives unlived. Now let's turn this lens inward. If every quantum event spawns a new universe, then the sheer number of realities must be staggering, beyond comprehension. Every particle in your body, every interaction in the vast expanse of the cosmos, multiplies the possibilities. Are there worlds where history unfolded differently, where empires never fell, where the laws of physics themselves bend in unfamiliar ways? Are there versions of you who are utterly unrecognizable, shaped by choices so alien to your own? The existential weight of this idea presses down gently, like a hand on your shoulder in the dark. It asks us to reconsider the very nature of identity. If you are not one but many, if every version of you is equally real, then who, truly, are you? Let this question linger in the air, unanswered, as we drift through the implications. The many worlds interpretation doesn't just challenge our understanding of physics, it reshapes how we think about fate, free will, and the stories we tell ourselves. If every choice creates a new reality, then perhaps there is no such thing as a mistake, only branching narratives, each with its own truth. Yet, there's a quiet melancholy in this thought, isn't there? The idea that we are forever cut off from those other selves, unable to know their joys or sorrows, unable to share in the infinite lives we've unknowingly created. Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine one of those other worlds, one of those other yous. What might they be feeling right now? What paths have they walked that you never will? Let this thought settle into a gentle stillness, a reminder of how vast and mysterious the fabric of existence might be. As we rest in this contemplation, consider one final whisper from this theory. If the many worlds interpretation holds even a fragment of truth, then the universe is not a single, linear story, but an endless labyrinth of tales, each unfolding in its own sacred space. And though we may never step into those other worlds, their possibility invites us to wonder, to dream, to hold our own choices with a little more tenderness. For in this strange and beautiful vision of reality, every moment is a genesis, every decision a new beginning, echoing across infinities we can only imagine. Imagine a world where time does not march forward in the steady, predictable rhythm we've come to know. A world where the very notion of past, present, and future blurs into something far stranger, something almost alive with secrets. What if the ticking of the clock, the relentless forward motion we take as truth, is merely a facade, a fragile illusion cast over a deeper reality? Let us wander into this enigma, where the rules of quantum mechanics whisper a challenge to our understanding of time itself, hinting at possibilities that unsettle the mind and stir the soul. In the hidden realm of the subatomic, where particles flicker like ghosts in a dream, experiments have revealed something astonishing, something that seems to defy the very structure of cause and effect. There are moments in the delicate dance of quantum systems where a particle appears to react to a future event before it even occurs, as if it possesses a kind of foresight, a knowing that stretches beyond the now. Picture a clock, not in our world, but in some unseen dimension, its hands spinning backward, tracing a path through time that loops and weaves in ways we cannot grasp. What does this mean? Could it be that time, as we perceive it, is not a river flowing in one direction, but a vast, shimmering web where every point touches every other, where the future whispers to the past in a language we have yet to learn? Consider, for a moment, the implications of such a discovery. If a particle can sense what is yet to come, does this suggest that time itself is not the rigid framework we imagine, but something fluid, something mutable? Is it possible that the linearity of our days, the sunrise followed by sunset, the endless march of hours, is merely a shadow, a simplified story our minds tell to make sense of a far more complex truth? In the quantum world, where the impossible becomes possible, time might not be a line at all, but a sphere, a boundless expanse, where every moment exists simultaneously, waiting to be touched by the right kind of awareness. Take a moment to reflect on this. What would it mean for your own life if time were not a chain binding you to the present, but a vast ocean where you could drift freely between what was, what is, and what might be? Let us weave a tale to bring this mystery closer to the heart. Imagine a village nestled in a forgotten valley, where the villagers live by the rhythm of a peculiar clock tower at the center of their world. This clock does not tick forward as ours do. Instead, its hands move erratically, sometimes racing ahead, sometimes lingering in the past, and sometimes pausing as if listening to a silent song. The villagers, accustomed to this strangeness, plan their days not by hours, but by feeling, by an instinct they cannot name. They sow their fields when the clock seems to hum with anticipation, and they gather for feasts when its hands spiral backward, as if reliving a memory. To an outsider, their lives would seem chaotic, unbound by reason. Yet to them, there is a deeper order, a harmony with something unseen, something that knows the future as intimately as the past. What if we too are like these villagers, blind to the true nature of time, guided by a clock we've built in our minds, while a stranger, truer rhythm pulses just beyond our senses? This quantum strangeness invites us to question the very foundation of how we experience existence. If time can bend, if it can loop or shimmer with foresight in the subatomic world, what does that say about our own perception of destiny, of choice, of consequence? Are the events of our lives as fixed as we believe, or do they too ripple with unseen possibilities, influenced by a future we cannot yet see? Perhaps, in the quietest corners of reality, time is not a master we must obey, but a partner in a dance we've forgotten the steps to. A dance where every moment, every decision, resonates across an eternal now. Let this thought linger as a gentle mist over your mind. What if the past you remember and the future you imagine are not separate, but intertwined, whispering to each other through the fabric of a reality we are only beginning to understand? Could it be that time, the great arbiter of our lives, is itself an illusion, a mere shadow cast by a deeper quantum truth that waits patiently for us to look closer, to listen more deeply? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine yourself standing outside of time, watching its currents swirl around you, no longer a prisoner to its flow, but a silent observer of its endless mystery. What do you feel in that boundless space? What do you hear in the silence between the ticks of an unseen clock? Imagine, for a moment, a pair of distant stars, separated by the vast, unbridgeable expanse of the cosmos. Though light years apart, their light seems to hum with a shared secret, a silent conversation that defies the very notions of space and time. Their whispers travel not through the void as we understand it, but through something deeper, something beyond the boundaries of distance itself. What if the universe, in all its sprawling grandeur, is not a collection of isolated fragments, but a singular interwoven tapestry where separation is merely an illusion? Let us step into this enigma, into the realm of non-locality, where the rules of reality bend and shimmer in ways that challenge everything we thought we knew. In the strange and beautiful landscape of quantum mechanics, non-locality emerges as a phenomenon that feels almost like magic, yet is grounded in the very fabric of existence. It is tied to the concept of entanglement, where two particles, once connected, remain bound in a mysterious dance, no matter how far apart they drift. Picture two grains of sand, once nestled side by side on a windswept beach, now carried by currents to opposite ends of the earth. If one grain trembles under the weight of a passing shadow, the other, impossibly, feels the same shiver, as if they are still touching. Experiments have shown this to be true. When one particle's state is measured, the other's state is instantly determined, no matter the distance between them. The speed of this connection defies the limits of light itself, as if the universe has a hidden language, a way of communicating that laughs at our notions of here and there. But what does this mean for the way we perceive the world? If particles can influence each other across the void instantaneously, are we truly separate from the stars we gaze upon, from the strangers we pass, from the memories we hold of places long left behind? Could it be that beneath the surface of our everyday experience lies a profound unity, a timeless embrace that binds all things in a single eternal moment? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine yourself as part of this invisible web, connected not just to what you can see and touch, but to the farthest reaches of the cosmos, to moments yet to unfold, to echoes of a past you've never known. This notion of non-locality stirs a quiet unease, a whisper of something vast and incomprehensible. It challenges the very foundation of how we define reality. We are taught that space is a barrier, a measurable gap between one thing and another. Yet, here, in the quantum realm, space seems to dissolve, as if it were nothing more than a dream we've agreed to believe in. Philosophers and scientists alike have wrestled with this mystery, wondering if non-locality hints at a deeper truth, that the universe is not a machine of separate parts, but a single, indivisible whole. Perhaps, in some hidden way, every atom in your body is whispering to the farthest galaxy, sharing a story we have yet to hear. Consider for a fleeting second the implications of this interconnectedness. If separation is an illusion, then what of the loneliness we feel? The longing for connection that haunts so many of us? Could it be that we are already bound to everything and everyone, held in a cosmic embrace we cannot see but can somehow sense in the quiet moments of our lives? There is a strange comfort in this thought, a gentle reminder that even in our most solitary hours, we are not alone. The universe, in its silent way, is always reaching for us, always speaking through these unseen threads that tie us to the infinite. And yet, the mystery deepens. Non-locality does not just defy space, it seems to mock our understanding of time as well. How can two particles act as one in the very same instant, with no delay, no journey between them? It is as if time, too, is a construct that falls apart under the weight of quantum truth. Perhaps, in this hidden layer of reality, past, present, and future are not a line, but a circle, a single point where everything converges. Take a moment to let this sink in. Picture yourself standing outside of time, outside of space, feeling the pulse of the universe as a single, unending note. What would it mean to live as if this were true, to see every moment as part of an eternal now? As we linger on this thought, the stars in our earlier vision seem to glow a little brighter, their whispered conversation growing just a shade louder, though still beyond our grasp. Non-locality invites us to question not just the nature of the physical world, but the nature of our own existence within it. Are we too entangled with something greater, something that transcends the boundaries we've drawn around ourselves? Is there a silent dialogue between our souls and the cosmos, a bond that persists despite the distances we perceive? These questions hang in the air like a soft mist, not demanding answers, but simply asking to be felt, to be carried with us as we drift through the quiet of this moment. So let us rest here, in the space between knowing and wondering, where the illusion of separation fades into the possibility of unity. Let the idea of non-locality weave itself into your thoughts like a gentle thread, connecting you to the unseen, the unknown, the infinite. Perhaps, in this very breath, you are touching the edges of a universe that has never truly let you go. Imagine for a moment a vast, ancient library, its shelves stretching into an endless twilight, filled with tomes written in languages no one has ever fully deciphered. In one corner, a book of delicate, shimmering pages speaks of the smallest fragments of existence, the quantum world. In another, a heavy, weathered volume recounts the grand curves of space and time, the realm of gravity. These two texts, though masterpieces in their own right, seem to argue in whispers, their words refusing to blend into a single, unified story. What if the deepest mystery of the universe lies not in the pages themselves, but in the silence between them, in the longing for a harmony that has yet to be composed? This is the enigma of quantum gravity, an unsolved riddle at the heart of modern physics. On one hand, we have quantum mechanics, a strange and beautiful framework that describes the behavior of particles smaller than we can imagine, where reality flickers with uncertainty and possibility. On the other, we have general relativity, Einstein's profound vision of gravity as the bending of space and time, a theory that paints the cosmos as a smooth, continuous fabric shaped by mass and energy. These two ways of understanding the world are breathtaking in their elegance, yet they clash in ways that defy reconciliation. It's as if we are listening to two musicians, one playing a haunting melody on a fragile harp, the other a deep, resonant tone on a cello, each captivating, alone but jarring when played together. How can two truths, so seemingly complete, refuse to sing the same song? Consider the scale of this discord. Quantum mechanics thrives in the realm of the infinitesimal, where particles dance in states of probability, where the very act of looking can change what is seen. General relativity, by contrast, governs the immense, the cosmic ballet of planets, stars, and black holes, where gravity sculpts the very shape of reality. At the edges of these domains, near the event horizon of a black hole, or in the first fleeting moments after the Big Bang, their disagreement becomes a chasm. Physics tells us that in these extreme conditions, both theories must apply, yet their predictions unravel into contradiction. It's as if we've stumbled upon a borderland in the universe, a place where the map of reality tears apart, leaving us to wonder what lies in the uncharted territory beyond. Let this sink in for a moment. What if this tension between quantum mechanics and gravity isn't a flaw in our understanding, but a clue? Perhaps the universe is whispering to us through this dissonance, hinting at a deeper language we have yet to learn. Some theorists speak of string theory, a vision where the fundamental constituents of reality are not particles, but tiny vibrating threads, each note of their oscillation giving rise to the forces and matter we know. In this view, gravity and the quantum world might harmonize, their differences merely different chords in the same cosmic symphony. Others propose loop quantum gravity, imagining space itself as woven from discrete loops, a pixelated fabric that bridges the smooth and the uncertain. Yet, these ideas remain unproven, like half-written poems, beautiful in their promise but incomplete in their expression. Take a moment to reflect on this. What does it mean to live in a universe where even our most profound theories cannot fully grasp its essence? Does this discord unsettle you, or does it fill you with a quiet awe, a sense that there are mysteries so vast they might never be solved, yet so compelling they draw us ever forward? Picture yourself standing at the edge of a great canyon, the walls carved by eons of time, their layers telling stories of ages past. At the bottom, a river of quantum uncertainty flows, its currents unpredictable and wild. Above, the sky of relativity arches in perfect, unbroken curves, shaping the very space through which light travels. You stand between them, a witness to their beauty, yet unable to bridge the divide. Is this gap a barrier, or is it an invitation? Perhaps the quest for quantum gravity isn't about finding a final answer, but about learning to listen to the silence between the notes, to feel the pull of a mystery that might be the very heartbeat of existence. As we linger here, let's not rush to conclusions or force a resolution. Instead, let's sit with the weight of this unsolved puzzle. Imagine the universe as a composer, crafting a piece so intricate that even its dissonance is deliberate, a tension that stirs something deep within us. What if the union of quantum mechanics and gravity isn't meant to be understood in our lifetime, or even in the lifetimes of those who come after us? What if the beauty lies in the searching itself, in the way each generation adds a line to the song, hoping one day to hear its full melody? Let this thought drift with you, like a leaf on a quiet stream, carrying you into a space of wonder and peace, where the unanswered questions are not burdens, but companions in the night. Imagine for a moment that beneath the surface of everything you see, touch, and know, there lies an unseen ocean, a vast, silent expanse that moves with currents too subtle for our senses to grasp. This is not a realm of water or wind, but of forces so elusive, so enigmatic, that they shape the very structure of the cosmos without ever revealing themselves. We call them dark matter and dark energy, the invisible architects of reality, and their presence whispers of secrets woven into the quantum void. What are these shadowy entities, and what do they tell us about the hidden depths of the universe? Let us drift into this mystery, allowing the questions to guide us like faint stars in an endless night. Picture the universe as an immense tapestry. Its threads spun from the light of stars, the weight of galaxies, and the silent pull of gravity. Yet when we trace these threads with our most precise instruments, we find that much of the fabric is missing, or rather, unseen. Dark matter, a ghostly presence, makes up a staggering portion of the cosmos, its gravitational embrace holding galaxies together like an unseen hand cradling fragile glass. It does not shine, does not reflect, does not interact with light or the matter we know. It is a spectre, a shadow cast by something we cannot name, yet its influence is undeniable. Without it, the spiraling arms of the Milky Way would unravel, stars would scatter into the void, and the intricate dance of cosmic structure would collapse into chaos. How strange, then, that something so invisible could be so essential. What? Is this dark matter, this unseen force that binds the heavens? Is it a particle, a whisper of the quantum realm, or something beyond our current imagination? A relic of a reality we have yet to comprehend? And then there is dark energy, an even more elusive phantom. If dark matter is the silent anchor, dark energy is the restless wind, pushing the universe outward, stretching the fabric of space itself in an accelerating expansion. It permeates everything, a mysterious pressure that defies our understanding of energy as we know it. Scientists have measured its effects, seen the way it drives galaxies apart, as if whispering to them to flee, to scatter into the infinite. Yet what is its nature? Could it be a manifestation of the quantum vacuum, a bubbling sea of virtual particles flickering in and out of existence, their fleeting dance creating a force that reshapes the cosmos? Or is it something else entirely, a remnant of the universe's birth, a scar left by the Big Bang that still hums with the echoes of creation? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, gazing out over an ocean so deep and dark that no light can pierce its depths. You know it is there. You feel its pull in the rhythm of the waves, but you cannot see it, cannot touch it. This is how we stand before dark matter and dark energy, aware of their presence, awed by their power, yet humbled by our blindness. What does it mean to live in a universe where so much of what shapes us remains hidden? Are these dark forces quantum ghosts, lingering echoes of a reality that operates on rules we have yet to decipher? Or are they a reminder that the universe is not ours to fully know? That it holds secrets in its depths, like treasures buried beneath the waves? Consider, too, the interplay between these unseen forces and the quantum framework that underpins all things. At the smallest scales, reality dissolves into a dance of probabilities, particles winking in and out of being, their nature dictated by laws that defy our intuition. Could dark matter be woven from these same quantum threads? Particles, so shy, so elusive that they slip through our detectors like whispers through a storm. Some theories suggest they might be weakly interacting massive particles, or WIMPs, ghostly travelers of the subatomic world. Others propose even stranger ideas, extra dimensions curled up so tightly we cannot see them, where dark matter hides like a shadow cast across unseen planes. And dark energy, could it be the hum of the quantum void itself? The restless energy of nothingness that fills the spaces between all things? The more we probe, the more the mystery deepens, as if the universe is a riddle written in a language we are only beginning to learn. Let us linger here for a while, in the quiet space between knowing and not knowing. Imagine the cosmos as a grand cathedral, its arches and spires built not of stone, but of forces and energies we cannot see. Dark matter forms the unseen scaffolding, dark energy the invisible wind that echoes through its halls. And we, small and fleeting, stand within, listening for the whispers of these quantum ghosts. What are they trying to tell us? Do they speak of a universe far stranger, far more interconnected than we dare to dream? Or do they remind us of our place in the grand design, not as masters of all knowledge, but as humble seekers, gazing into the void with wonder and curiosity? Take another moment to reflect on this. Feel the weight of the unseen. the silent currents that shape everything around you? What if the darkness of the quantum void is not an emptiness, but a fullness, a repository of truths waiting to be uncovered? Perhaps dark matter and dark energy are not barriers to understanding, but invitations, beckoning us to listen more closely, to imagine more boldly. As we drift through this mystery, let the questions settle over you like a soft mist. What lies beneath the surface of reality? What unseen forces guide the dance of the cosmos? And in our search for answers, are we not also searching for something deeper, a connection to the hidden heart of all things? Imagine for a moment that the very essence of your thoughts, the silent whispers of your mind, are not merely the product of neurons firing in predictable patterns, but something far stranger, far more elusive. What if the spark of consciousness, the mysterious force that defines who you are, is woven from the same enigmatic threads that underpin the universe itself? What if, deep within the labyrinth of your brain, there exists a quantum dance, a flicker of infinite potential where ideas and awareness shimmer like particles caught in a state of endless possibility? Let's journey into this speculative realm, a place where science and philosophy intertwine like lovers in a dream. There is a hypothesis, a whisper among thinkers and researchers, that quantum processes, those bizarre, rule-defying phenomena that govern the smallest building blocks of reality, might play a role in the emergence of consciousness. Picture your mind as a vast, shadowy landscape, each thought a fleeting particle, hovering in a state of superposition, existing in all possible forms at once. A single idea could be both a memory and a hope, a fear and a dream, until the moment it is observed, felt, or spoken, collapsing into the singular reality of your awareness. Could it be that the mystery of your inner world mirrors the unfathomable mysteries at the heart of the cosmos? Consider the strangeness of this idea. Quantum mechanics tells us that at the subatomic level, reality is not fixed or certain. Particles do not adhere to the rigid laws of our everyday experience. They exist as probabilities, as ghosts of what might be, until something or someone interacts with them. Now, imagine this same principle at work within the delicate architecture of your brain. What if the synaptic connections, the electric pulses that shape your thoughts, are influenced by quantum events, by tiny ripples of uncertainty that defy the boundaries of cause and effect? Could the very act of thinking, of being aware, be a reflection of the universe's deepest secrets, a dialogue between the infinitely small and the infinitely vast? Take a moment to reflect on this. Close your eyes, if only for a breath, and feel the weight of your own consciousness. Is there a hum beneath it? A subtle vibration that you cannot quite name? Could that be the echo of quantum whispers, the faint signature of a reality far stranger than we dare to imagine? Let's delve deeper. Some theorists propose that the brain might operate as a kind of quantum computer, harnessing the peculiarities of superposition and entanglement to process information in ways that defy classical logic. Imagine two thoughts, two fragments of your being, entangled across the expanse of your mind, influencing one another instantaneously, as if separated by no distance at all. A memory of a distant summer day might resonate with a fleeting emotion. In this very moment, their connection unexplainable yet undeniable, a bond that transcends the linear march of time. If this is true, then perhaps consciousness is not merely a product of matter, but a bridge, a shimmering pathway between the tangible and the incomprehensible, between the world we see and the world we cannot. But there is a shadow to this beautiful hypothesis, a quiet uncertainty that lingers in the air. Science has yet to uncover definitive evidence that quantum processes govern the mind. The brain, after all, is a warm, noisy place, far removed from the pristine, isolated conditions where quantum effects are typically observed. Critics argue that such delicate phenomena would dissolve in the chaos of biological systems, like a whisper lost in a storm. And yet, the possibility remains, tantalizing and elusive, a question mark hanging over the nature of our very existence. What if we are more than the sum of our parts, more than flesh and bone and electric signals? What if the essence of who we are is a reflection of the universe's most profound enigma? Let this thought settle over you like a soft mist. Consider the vastness of your own mind, the endless landscape of memories, dreams, and fleeting impressions. Could it be that within you lies a mirror to the quantum realm, a space where reality is not fixed but fluid, where every thought holds the potential for infinite outcomes? Or is this merely a poetic fancy, a longing to find meaning in the mysterious? The truth, as always, hovers just beyond our reach, a shadow on the edge of understanding. Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind wander through its own depths, searching for that faint shimmer, that whisper of something beyond the ordinary. Whether science ever unveils the connection between quantum mysteries and consciousness, the very act of wondering, of reaching for the unknown, is a testament to the boundless curiosity that defines us. Perhaps, in the end, the greatest mystery is not whether the quantum realm shapes our minds, but why we are so drawn to unravel its secrets, as if in doing so we might finally understand ourselves. Imagine, for a moment, a dream so vivid, so alive with color and possibility, that it feels more real than the world around you. But as your eyes flutter open, as the first light of morning creeps in, that dream begins to slip away. Its edges blur, its magic fades, and you're left grasping at fragments that dissolve like mist in your hands. What if the very nature of reality behaves in a similar way, holding a kind of enchantment, a strangeness that vanishes when it brushes against the ordinary? Let us wander into this quiet mystery, into a process known as quantum decoherence, where the surreal beauty of the quantum world seems to lose its spell as it meets the larger, familiar realm we call home. In the hidden depths of the subatomic, particles dance in ways that defy our understanding. They exist in a state of pure potential, shimmering with possibilities, as if they hold within them every path, every choice, every whisper of what could be. But something happens when these delicate entities interact with the broader world. When they touch the air, the light, the countless other particles that surround them, it's as if the dream of their strangeness cannot withstand the gaze of reality. The multiplicity, the ghostly overlap of states, collapses. The magic fades, and what remains is a single, concrete outcome, as mundane as the waking world after. A dream has slipped away. This is decoherence, a process where the quantum system, once brimming with mystery, becomes entangled with its environment, losing its otherworldly properties to align with the rules we know. But let us linger on this thought. Is this loss of magic truly a loss? Or is it a transformation we've yet to understand? Picture a dream again, one that feels so real in the night, yet fades by dawn. Even as its details escape you, doesn't something of its essence remain? A feeling, a fleeting emotion, a sense of having touched something beyond the ordinary. Perhaps in the same way, the quantum world's strangeness doesn't vanish entirely when decoherence occurs. Perhaps it leaves a trace, a subtle imprint on the fabric of reality that we cannot yet see or measure. Could it be that the dream of the quantum realm lingers, hidden just beneath the surface of what we perceive as solid and true? Take a moment to reflect on this. Close your eyes if you wish, and imagine a reality that is, at its core, a dream we've forgotten how to see. What if the world around us, the chair you sit on, the air you breathe, the very thoughts in your mind, was once imbued with a kind of magic, a multiplicity of being that has simply faded into the background through the act of existing alongside everything else? What if, in some quiet corner of the universe, that magic still hums, waiting for us to remember how to listen? And so we must ask ourselves a deeper question, one that tugs at the edges of our understanding. Is this process of decoherence a kind of forgetting, a collective amnesia of the universe's true nature? Or is it a necessary veil, a softening of the raw, unfiltered potential of the quantum world, so that we might live within a reality that feels stable, predictable, even safe? Think of a child who believes in fairy tales, in worlds of endless wonder, only to grow into an adult who sees the world through the lens of practicality? Has the wonder truly left? Or has it merely changed form, waiting to be rediscovered in a new way? Perhaps reality itself is such a story, a tale of infinite possibility that, through decoherence, has settled into the chapters we can read, while the unwritten pages flutter just out of reach. There is a quiet melancholy in this idea, isn't there? The thought that we might be surrounded by a universe brimming with unseen dreams, yet bound to a version of it that feels so ordinary. But there is also a strange comfort in it. For if reality is a dream we've forgotten how to see, then perhaps there are ways to remember. Perhaps in the stillness of night, in the spaces between thoughts, or in the unanswered questions we carry, we can catch a glimpse of that lost magic. Perhaps the quantum world, even as it fades into the familiar through decoherence, leaves behind whispers of its true nature, invitations to wonder, to imagine, to seek. So let us sit with this mystery for a while longer. Let us not rush to define or explain, but simply feel the weight of it, the gentle pull of a reality that might be more than it seems. What if, beneath the surface of every moment, there lies a dream waiting to be remembered? What if the act of living, of touching the world around us, is both a loss and a rediscovery? A dance between the magic we've forgotten and the reality we've chosen to see. As you drift through these thoughts, let them settle over you like a soft twilight, carrying you into a space of quiet wonder, where the boundaries of what is and what could be blur ever so slightly. Imagine, for a moment, a secret so profound that even the act of trying to uncover it would shatter its very essence. A whisper, carried not on the wind, but on beams of light, traveling through the vast emptiness of space, holding truths that no ear can hear, no hand can grasp, without breaking the delicate balance of its existence. This is not the stuff of ancient myths or forgotten lore, but a reality woven into the fabric of the universe itself, a reality shaped by the enigmatic laws of quantum mechanics. Welcome to a realm where secrets are not merely hidden, they are protected by the fundamental rules of nature, through a marvel known as quantum cryptography. Let us journey into this hidden world, where information is not just data, but a sacred dance of particles and probabilities. Picture a message, encoded not in ink or binary code, but in the very states of subatomic particles, photons of light, each vibrating with a specific polarization, each carrying a fragment of a truth. These photons glide through the void, their secret intact, because the act of intercepting them, of even attempting to glimpse their nature, disrupts their fragile state. It's as if the universe itself stands guard over these whispers, ensuring that any eavesdropper, any curious mind, would leave an indelible mark on the message, alerting the intended recipient that the sanctity of their communication has been breached. What kind of world do we inhabit, where the laws of physics themselves become the ultimate locksmith, crafting keys that cannot be duplicated, locks that cannot be picked? This is the heart of quantum cryptography, a method of securing information so profound that it relies not on human ingenuity alone, but on the immutable strangeness of the quantum realm. Consider the implications of such a system. In an age where secrets are currency, where knowledge can shape empires or unravel them, we have stumbled upon a way to shield our thoughts, our plans, our very essence, using the same principles that govern the behavior of the smallest building blocks of reality. It feels almost poetic, as though the universe, in its infinite complexity, has offered us a glimpse of its own language, a language of uncertainty, of entanglement, of probabilities, and invited us to speak in its tongue. But why would nature provide such a mechanism? Is it mere coincidence, or does it suggest that secrecy, that the preservation of the unseen, is as fundamental to existence as gravity or light? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine a world where every thought you hold, every dream you nurture could be encoded in the flicker of a photon, sent across galaxies, and remain untouched by any force, any mind, save the one it was meant for. Does this not stir a sense of wonder, a quiet awe at how deeply the universe seems to value the sanctity of what is hidden? Let us linger on this thought a little longer. The idea of quantum cryptography stretches beyond mere technology. It beckons us to ponder the nature of secrets themselves. What is a secret, if not a fragment of reality we choose to shield from the light of scrutiny? And what does it mean that the universe, at its most fundamental level, seems designed to honor such shielding? There is a story here, ancient and unspoken, of a cosmos that guards its own mysteries with the same ferocity it guards ours. Think of the black holes that swallow light itself, of the dark energy that stretches the fabric of space beyond our comprehension. Are these not secrets encoded in the quantum fabric of reality, whispers we may never fully hear? Perhaps our quest to secure our own truths through quantum means is but a reflection of a greater pattern, a mirror held up to the universe's own enigmatic heart. And so, we stand at the edge of this discovery, peering into a future where information is as untouchable as a shadow cast by a flame that no wind can extinguish. Yet, this very untouchability raises a deeper question, one that lingers in the quiet corners of the mind. If the universe offers us the tools to create unbreakable codes, does it also hold secrets of its own, locked away in the quantum haze, waiting for a key we have yet to forge? Are there truths so profound, so woven into the essence of existence, that even our most advanced understanding will forever fall short of deciphering them? Or is this mystery itself the message, a reminder that some things are meant to remain hidden, not out of malice, but out of a kind of cosmic reverence for the unknown? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let the weight of this idea settle over you like a soft mist. What secrets does the universe hold in its quantum embrace? And what might it mean for us to live in a reality where even our whispers are guarded by the laws of nature? As we drift through these thoughts, let the mystery linger, a quiet companion in the stillness, inviting us to wonder, to dream, and perhaps to listen for the whispers carried on beams of light just beyond our reach. Imagine for a moment that the world around you is not as it seems. Beneath the surface of everything you touch, see, and feel, there lies a realm of infinite possibilities, a place where reality itself hangs in a delicate balance, until the very act of looking at it changes everything. What if the simple act of observation holds the power to shape the fabric of existence? Let this thought linger as we step into a profound enigma, a question that has haunted the minds of scientists and philosophers alike. The mystery of why reality seems to wait for us to notice it before deciding what it will become. In the quiet depths of the quantum world, particles exist in a state of endless potential. Picture a dancer poised on the edge of a stage, capable of moving in any direction, embodying every possible step at once. This is not mere imagination, but the strange truth of quantum systems, a truth we call superposition, where all outcomes coexist in a ghostly overlap until something or someone intervenes. And then, in the fleeting instant of measurement, this boundless potential collapses. The dancer chooses a single step, the particle settles into a definite state, and the myriad possibilities vanish as if they had never been. But why does this happen? What invisible force compels the universe to resolve itself only when we seek to know it? Consider the weight of this question. It is not just a matter of physics, but a profound philosophical riddle. Are we, as observers, merely passive, witnesses to a world that unfolds on its own terms? Or do we play a more active role, our gaze acting as a brushstroke on the canvas of reality, painting one outcome into being while erasing all others? Think of a story unwritten, its pages blank until the moment a reader's eyes fall upon them. Does the tale exist before it is seen, or does the act of reading bring it into existence? This is the heart of the measurement problem, a puzzle that suggests the boundary between mind and matter may be far thinner than we have ever dared to imagine. Let us wander deeper into this mystery, In the early days of quantum theory, brilliant minds grappled with this very question, their debates echoing through the halls of history. Niels Bohr, a pioneer of this strange new science, argued that the act of measurement was inseparable from the reality it revealed, that the observer and the observed were entwined in a dance of mutual creation. Others, like Albert Einstein, resisted this notion, famously declaring that the moon does not cease to exist simply because no one is looking at it. Yet, in the quantum realm, such certainties falter. Experiments have shown time and again that the state of a particle remains undefined until it is measured, as if the universe itself hesitates, waiting for our attention to give it form. Take a moment to reflect on this. What does it mean for us, as beings of thought and awareness, to hold such a role in the unfolding of existence? Does every glance, every question, every moment of curiosity shape the world in ways we cannot fully comprehend? Imagine standing before a vast, shimmering veil, knowing that the simple act of reaching out to touch it will alter its pattern forever. There is a quiet unease in this thought, but also a kind of wonder, a sense that we are not separate from the cosmos, but woven into its very essence. And so we are left with more questions than answers. Is the collapse of possibilities a mechanical process governed by laws we have yet to uncover? Or does it hint at something deeper, something tied to the nature of consciousness itself? Could it be that our minds, in their silent act of perceiving, are the key to unlocking, or perhaps creating, the reality we inhabit? Picture a world where every decision, every fleeting thought sends ripples through the fabric of what is, choosing one path while countless others fade into shadow. If this is true, then we are not merely explorers of the universe. We are its co-authors, writing its story with every breath, every glance, every moment of awareness. Let this idea settle over you like a gentle mist. There is no need to grasp for certainty here, no need to pin down the elusive truth. The mystery of measurement invites us not to solve, but to wonder, to sit with the possibility that we are more than observers, that we are participants in a cosmic dance whose steps we cannot fully predict. And in this uncertainty, there is a strange kind of peace, a quiet acceptance that reality may never fully reveal itself, yet in seeking to understand, we become part of its endless unfolding. Imagine for a moment a storm brewing in the heart of the unseen, a tempest so subtle that it stirs not a single leaf, yet holds the power to reshape the very fabric of existence. This is the realm where quantum mechanics and chaos theory intertwine, a place of delicate uncertainties that ripple outward into vast, unpredictable waves. Picture a butterfly, its wings trembling in a quantum breeze, a flutter so infinitesimal that it seems insignificant. Yet, in that fleeting motion, the fate of distant galaxies might shift, as if the universe itself were listening to its quiet song. What if chaos, often seen as the harbinger of disorder, is instead a hidden language, a way the cosmos conceals its deepest truths from our eager eyes? Let us wander into this strange intersection where the smallest of actions in the subatomic world can cascade into outcomes beyond our wildest imagination. In the quantum realm, particles flicker with a kind of restless energy, their paths uncertain, their destinies unwritten. A single electron, nudged by a force we cannot see, might veer left or right, and in that choice, or lack thereof, entire chains of events are set into motion. Chaos theory whispers to us that these tiny deviations, these whispers of chance, can grow into storms of consequence. It is as though the universe plays a game of infinite dominoes, where the fall of one unseen piece alters the pattern of everything that follows. Could it be that what we perceive as randomness is merely a veil, hiding an order so intricate, so profound, that our minds can only grasp its shadow? Consider the nature of a storm on the open sea. From afar, it appears as pure chaos, waves crashing without reason, winds howling in disarray. Yet beneath the surface, every current, every gust, follows laws of physics too complex for us to predict with certainty. In the quantum world, this chaos is even more elusive. A particle's position, its momentum, its very essence seems to dance to a rhythm we cannot hear. And yet, through the lens of chaos theory, we begin to wonder if this unpredictability is not disorder at all, but a kind of hidden harmony. What if the butterfly's wing beat in that quantum storm is not a random act, but a note in a symphony too vast for us to comprehend? Take a moment to reflect on this. What if chaos is not the absence of order, but the presence of a design beyond our reach? Now let us drift deeper into this mystery. Think of a pebble dropped into a still pond. The ripples spread outward, touching every shore, no matter how distant. In the quantum landscape, every interaction, every fleeting encounter between particles sends out such ripples, vibrations of possibility that can grow into tidal waves of change. Chaos theory teaches us that these small uncertainties, these quantum flutters, are amplified over time and space until a single, seemingly trivial event might alter the course of reality itself. Imagine a universe where every choice, every chance is like that pebble, its impact felt not just here, not just now, but echoing across dimensions we cannot yet fathom. Does this notion unsettle you, or does it fill you with a quiet awe at the interconnectedness of all things? As we linger in this thought, let us ponder the deeper implication. If chaos and quantum uncertainty are so entwined, if the smallest deviation can reshape the grandest of outcomes, then what does this say about the nature of truth? Is there a single, solid reality we can cling to? Or are we adrift in a sea of possibilities, where every moment births a new current, a new path? Perhaps chaos is the universe's way of guarding its secrets, scattering them like stardust across an endless expanse, daring us to find meaning in the disorder. Or maybe, just maybe, it is an invitation, a call to embrace the unknown, to see beauty in the unpredictable, to trust that even in the storm, there is a quiet purpose waiting to be felt. Let this idea settle over you like a soft mist. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of that quantum storm, feeling the faint tremor of the butterfly's wings, sensing the weight of galaxies shifting in response. What do you feel in this moment? A sense of smallness or a profound connection to the vastness of it all? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let the mystery of chaos and order, of uncertainty and hidden design weave its way into your thoughts as we rest here in the quiet heart of the unknown. Imagine for a moment that the universe is not a single, solitary canvas, but an infinite garden, blooming with countless realities, each petal a world unto itself, unfolding with its own unique laws, its own whispered stories. What if every choice, every fleeting moment, every possibility that ever was or could be, gives rise to a new flower in this cosmic expanse? Let this thought settle into your mind as we wander into the realm of the quantum multiverse, a place where the boundaries of what we call real dissolve into endless echoes, resonating with the weight of infinite potential. In the quiet depths of quantum cosmology, there lies a vision so vast, so unfathomable, that it stretches the very fabric of our understanding. Picture a moment of creation. Not one singular burst of light and matter, but a cascade, a proliferation of universes budding from a single quantum event, each diverging into its own path. Some of these worlds might mirror our own, with skies of blue and hearts that ache for meaning. Others could be utterly alien, governed by laws of physics so strange that time might flow backward, or gravity might pull upward into an endless void. Each universe, a story. Each story, a possibility. And yet, all of them rooted in the same mysterious origin, a shared whisper of existence that defies our grasp. Consider the elegance of this idea, the sheer audacity of it. Every quantum fluctuation, every roll of the cosmic dice at the smallest scale, might not just shape our reality, but spawn entirely new ones. It's as if the universe is a composer, crafting not one symphony, but an infinite array of melodies, each played on instruments we cannot see, in keys we cannot hear. And we, in this particular melody, are but one note, one fleeting sound in a chorus of endless variations. Does this thought comfort you, knowing that somewhere, in some other garden, every version of your life might bloom? Or does it stir a quiet unease, a sense of being both vast and insignificant, a single ripple in an ocean of infinite waves? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind drift to the edge of this garden, where the flowers of other realities sway just beyond your reach. What would you find there in those other worlds? A life where every regret was undone, every dream fulfilled, or perhaps a reality so strange, so other, that you would not recognize yourself within it. Now let us linger on the weight of our own choices here, in this particular universe. If every possibility exists somewhere, does that lessen the importance of the path we walk? Or does it make each decision infinitely more precious, a rare thread woven into the tapestry of this specific reality? Imagine standing at a crossroads, not just of your life, but of existence itself, knowing that each step forward might echo across the multiverse, birthing new worlds in its wake. There is a quiet beauty in this thought, a sense that our smallest actions carry a resonance far beyond what we can see, rippling through the unseen garden of all that could be. Yet, there is also a mystery that cloaks this vision, a shadow that falls over even the brightest bloom. For if every possibility exists, then so too must every sorrow, every loss, every darkness. Somewhere, in some distant universe, there are versions of us that stumble, that break, that never find their way. Does this knowledge weigh on you, like a stone in the heart, or does it free you, knowing that here, in this moment, you have the chance to shape one story, one reality, with all the light and shadow that you carry? As we stand at the edge of this infinite garden, gazing into the endless echoes of what might be, let us not seek to grasp it all, for such a thing is beyond us. Instead, let us marvel at the mystery, at the thought that somewhere, beyond the veil of our understanding, there are worlds unfolding, stories being written, lives being lived in ways we cannot imagine. And perhaps, in one of those worlds, there is another you looking back across the multiverse, wondering about the life you live here, in this quiet corner of existence. So, rest in this thought as the night deepens around you. Let the idea of the quantum multiverse be a gentle lullaby, a reminder that reality is not a cage, but a garden without end, where every possibility blooms in its own time. And as you drift, carried by the rhythm of these endless echoes, know that your story, this story, is one of infinite worth, a single flower in a field that stretches forever into the unknown. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast and uncharted ocean, where the horizon blurs into a shimmering veil of mist. The water before you is not just deep, but fathomless, a realm where even the most daring explorers can only wade so far before the currents pull them into mysteries beyond reach. This is where we find ourselves now, gazing into the quantum unknown, a domain of reality so strange, so elusive, that it seems to mock the very tools we've crafted to understand it. What lies beneath these waves of the subatomic? Is there a shore on the other side? Or are we destined to stand forever at this precipice, our questions echoing into the void? As we linger here, at the boundary of human comprehension, it's as if the universe itself whispers a quiet challenge. The laws of quantum mechanics, those enigmatic rules that govern the smallest fragments of existence, defy not just our logic, but the very foundation of how we perceive the world. Particles that flicker in and out of being, connections that span across unimaginable distances, realities that split and multiply with every fleeting choice. These are not mere puzzles to be solved, but windows into a deeper truth we may never fully grasp. And perhaps that's the point. What if the act of questioning, of reaching toward the unknown, is not about finding answers, but about learning to live within the mystery? Consider the ocean before us once more. We can wade into its shallows, feeling the cold bite of the water against our skin, mapping the rocks and currents we can see and touch. But beyond a certain point, the depths become a domain we can only imagine. Our instruments, our theories, our most intricate equations, they are like fragile boats, able to carry us a little farther, but never to the heart of the abyss. In the quantum realm, we've glimpsed phenomena that seem to dance just out of reach. The way a particle can be everywhere and nowhere until we look. The way time itself seems to bend and whisper of futures already known. Yet for every step forward, the horizon recedes, reminding us that understanding is not a destination, but a journey without end. Take a moment to reflect on this. What does it mean to stand at the edge of knowing? To feel the pull of questions that may never have answers? Are we diminished by our limitations, or are we elevated by the sheer audacity of our curiosity? Let that thought settle, like a pebble sinking into still water, sending ripples through the quiet of your mind. There's a certain humility in this place, a quiet acceptance that some truths may be too vast, too intricate for our finite minds to hold. History is littered with thinkers who stood at similar shores, philosophers and scientists alike, from the ancient Greeks pondering the nature of the atom to modern physicists wrestling with the paradoxes of quantum entanglement. Each generation has pushed the boundary a little farther, only to find that the sea of mystery stretches ever onward. And yet, there is no despair in this realization, but a kind of reverent wonder. What if the unanswered questions are not barriers, but invitations? What if they are the universe's way of reminding us to marvel, to dream, to keep reaching even when the depths remain beyond our grasp? Picture yourself now, still at that shoreline, the sound of the waves a soft murmur in the twilight. You hold a single question in your hand, like a smooth stone, its weight both grounding and enigmatic. Perhaps it's a question about the nature of reality itself. Why does the quantum world behave as it does, weaving a tapestry of probabilities that defy our every instinct? Or perhaps it's more personal, a quiet wondering about your place in this vast, unknowable cosmos. As you turn the stone over in your palm, you realize that the answer may not come in your lifetime, or in any lifetime, but the act of holding it, of asking, of standing here at the edge, that is enough. The mystery does not demand resolution, it asks only for your presence. And so, we remain here, at the brink of understanding, where the known meets the unknowable. The quantum realm, with all its strangeness, is not a puzzle to be conquered, but a mirror reflecting our own longing to comprehend. It reminds us that to be human is to wonder, to stretch toward horizons we may never touch. There is a quiet beauty in this, a serenity in knowing that the sea before us will always hold more than we can chart. As the waves lap gently at the shore, let yourself rest in this thought. Perhaps the greatest wisdom lies not in grasping the infinite, but in learning to stand in awe of it. Take a moment to reflect on this. Let the weight of the unknown settle over you, not as a burden, but as a companion. Feel the rhythm of the tide, the eternal push and pull of questions without end. And as you linger here, at the edge of all we cannot know, allow yourself to find peace in the mystery, a quiet acceptance that to seek is to live. Imagine for a moment that the universe is not a static canvas, but a dancer, its movements fluid, enigmatic, weaving patterns through the fabric of existence that we can only glimpse in fleeting shadows. There is a rhythm to this dance, a melody that hums beneath the surface of all things, yet it remains just out of reach, a song we feel in our bones but cannot name. As we stand at the edge of understanding, gazing into the vastness of quantum mysteries, we find not frustration, but a quiet awe. What if the beauty of the cosmos lies not in the answers we uncover, but in the questions that linger, like stars too distant to touch? Consider the strange and wondrous realm we've wandered through, the subatomic world where reality itself seems to shimmer, dissolving into probabilities and paradoxes. In this hidden landscape, particles flicker in and out of being, entangled across impossible distances, as if to remind us that separation might be the greatest illusion of all. We've pondered whether time is a river or a mirage, whether our consciousness weaves the very threads of existence, and whether countless other realities hum alongside our own, just beyond perception. Yet for every mystery we've touched, 100 more slip through our fingers, like grains of sand carried by an unseen wind. And perhaps that is the point. Perhaps the universe, in its infinite complexity, is not meant to be fully known, but to be felt, to be danced with in the quiet spaces of wonder. Think of how we, as seekers, mirror this cosmic dancer. Each question we ask is a step forward, each unanswered riddle a gentle turn, leading us deeper into the unknown. In the realm of quantum mechanics, where the very act of looking can change what is seen, are we not also changed by what we seek? There is a poetic symmetry here, a reminder that to pursue understanding is to participate in the eternal movement of creation itself. We reach for the horizon, knowing we may never arrive, and yet the journey shapes us, softens us, teaches us to embrace the mystery as a companion rather than a foe. Take a moment to reflect on this. How does it feel to stand in the presence of the unknown, not as a barrier, but as an invitation? Let us linger here, in this quiet space, where the unanswered questions of the universe are not burdens, but gifts. They are the whispers of a dancer who moves through dimensions we cannot yet fathom, whose steps carve paths through the void, inviting us to follow, even if only in our dreams. What if the true essence of life is not in grasping the final truth, but in the act of reaching for it? Each gesture, each thought, a small echo of that cosmic rhythm. The universe does not demand that we solve its riddles. It asks only that we listen, that we feel the pulse of its mystery, and let it guide us through the night. As we rest here, at the edge of all we know, there is a profound peace in accepting that some things may forever elude us. The dancer moves on, her silhouette fading into the horizon. Yet her presence lingers in the stillness, in the quiet spaces between our thoughts. We do not need to hear the full melody to know it is there, thrumming through the fabric of reality, binding us to the stars, to the smallest particle, to the endless expanse of what might be. And so, we let go of the need to capture every answer, allowing the unknown to wash over us like a gentle tide, carrying us into a deeper kind of rest. Take a moment to feel this, to let the mystery be, not as a void, but as a vast, comforting embrace. In this eternal dance, we are not lost, but found. Found in the seeking, in the wondering, in the quiet surrender to a universe that speaks in riddles. The dancer moves on, her steps a silent promise that there is always more to discover, more to feel, even if it remains just beyond the horizon. And as we drift, carried by the rhythm of the unknown, we find that to seek is to live, to wonder is to belong, and to rest in the mystery is, perhaps, the greatest dance of all.